Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 26 of the Nekozuki Knits podcast. My name is Katie, and I'm coming to you from Cochrane, Alberta, Canada, and it is Tuesday, March 8th, 2016, and it's literally just turned to March 8th. It's about, it's 20 after midnight right now here. I'm currently doing a switch over so that I don't have quite as bad a jet lag heading into Japan. So mostly right now I'm getting up around 5 or 6 a.m. Japan time, which is about 2 to 3 here. And then going to bed around 5 a.m., which is about 10 o'clock. Actually, that would be 9. So 6, like between 5 and 6. Depends on how tired I am for the night. But it sets us up really well that we'll only have a couple hours difference. Here, when we travel, we're leaving in less than a week. So we're both super excited. And yeah, like it's gonna be a long trip, so after that ramble, I would like to say hi to any new and returning viewers, and thanks for joining me. And I'm sorry if I'm looking like I'm over here. I got totally distracted by myself and my camera frame. Anyway, let's get into the knitting, because actually I've done quite a bit this week, because that is the only thing I've been doing. I've been watching podcasts and knitting and watching Downton Abbey on PBS because they're doing a binge weekend. So I watched, I hadn't seen season 5, and obviously I haven't seen season 6 yet because I didn't see season 5. So I just finished season 5 last night. Yeah, and then I have season 6 on my PVR upstairs right now. I PVR'd it all so that I could watch it in these late evenings and very early mornings. And yes, I am having an adult beverage. It's tiger beer. So I'll try and cover it up a little bit, and I'm sorry if it offends anybody, but it's past midnight here and I'm on the last day before Dallas comes home, so I'm very much ready for him to come join me again. Okay, so I do have a couple works in progress. The first one is I did work on the Titanic socks for Dallas. Now, I said that these were going to be travel knitting, but I sat down for a VKN with Carrie and another lady. I don't know if she wants me to say her name, but it was Carrie of the Knit Pug. She hosts the Friday night VKN, and that's where these guys have got most of their progress. So I actually had to stop, and I haven't touched them since Friday so that I would actually have something to knit on the trains. I probably don't have anything to worry about, but that's only probably about a third of the way up his foot. So this is okay. Yeah, they're really matched still right now, so that's fantastic. It's Biscotten C Bis sock. It's their 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon sock yarn. So soft, like it feels like it has cashmere in it, but it doesn't. It's just merino and superwash or nylon. So, but it's super soft. He for sure has a pair out of them. He's worn them a few times, and it seems to wear really well. I have a pair, but I haven't finished them yet. Like I haven't woven in the ends yet. But I'm really looking forward to getting them done because they're actually my Harry Potter socks. I don't know why I haven't just woven the ends in. There are a lot of them. That's probably why. But should have still, you'd think. The other one I'm doing is Rose City Roller inspired socks. So I'm doing it based on the Rose City Roller pattern. Just shorty socks. But what I'm doing is I'm modified it to use Wendy Johnson's Temptation top down heel and gusset, so I don't actually have to like work heel flap. It's worked with the sock, and I'm hoping that gives it a little bit more body in the front of the sock as well, because that's the one thing I don't like about about heel flaps. It's always top tight. It's always tight across like the ankle joint, right at the bend of my foot. So we'll see if that helps or not. Working the sock at the same time, so the front of the sock. Then finally, I actually cast on a really big project. I had previously been working on the Hathaway by Carol Feller, and I love the pattern. There's nothing wrong with the pattern, but the pattern and the yarn together just were not, I was not happy. Actually, I've still got my swatch right here. Sorry. Yeah, actually this is better than what it was when I was knitting. Can't remember if I blocked this or not, but anyway, maybe my gauge changed a lot. But you can see that anyway, I did have quite a few holes. The thing is that this cardigan, or this sweater was a 2x2 rib all the way around with cables. And again, I love the pattern. I will knit it. It's just not out of this yarn. So this looks much more solid than what I actually had when I was knitting. I was spot on with my gauge. Pretty sure I didn't block this. But I just wasn't happy with it anymore. And I hadn't touched it for like, it got into hibernation, and I hardly ever put things into hibernation. But I put it in it, and I wasn't gonna touch it again, and it was one of those ones. I'm knitting it out of Brooklyn tweed shelter, or I was. So I ripped it out and balled that all up. And I'd screwed up the cables already, and the yarn breaks, which isn't a big deal except for when you're trying to cable. If it breaks right in the middle of your cable, that's really annoying. I also found that I was not getting, and this may have helped in blocking too and all of that, but I was not getting this nice definition in my actual knitting. So I ripped it up. There's no point in knitting something that I was not happy with at that point. What I have cast on though is I'm really happy with. So right now, and you can't really see it, but well, you certainly can see it better there than on my iPhone photos that I've been sending Dallas. There we go. So it's called the Little Wave Cardigan, or Little Wave, by Gudrun Johnston. It's a bottom-up cardigan with pockets. That's what I've split for there. And yeah, I'm enjoying it way better. It's US 8s, 5mm needles, and it's going really fast. My row gauge is off, so I just have to watch it as I go up, I'm pretty sure. So, but the body was a little bit short for what I would usually like for cardigans. I like longer cardigans because I've got a long torso. At least that's what it seems like. So I want, like, my extra length in my row gauge will make up for the length that I don't, like, that isn't in the pattern, I think. So anyway, I think I'm over a third of the way through the body. I think 10 inches is halfway, and I'm at like 7. So like, I guess a third of the way, yeah. Also, I really like these garter panels on the sides. That's where all the shaping happens. And then I've been knitting the sleeves while I've been watching Downton Abbey. So I've got one sleeve and most of the other sleeve actually. So that's what I've been working on this week. And actually if I can, I'm really hoping that I can get that done before Japan actually. Let's see here. I don't have any faux, but I did block the Highland Peak shawl, which is what I'm wearing. It's massive. Like, I'm 5'8", and it is my wingspan. Quite easily. Yeah, like, you can't even see how long it is. I'm still not 100% sure. Nothing wrong with the pattern again. But it's really deep compared to how long it is, like how big the wingspan is. So like, it's a really good over the shoulder shawl, but I don't wear a lot of shawls this way. So I could totally wear it that way. It fits, it actually sits nicely. It's nice and long on the shoulder, so the depth there is really nice. But I tend to wear my shawls more around my neck as a scarf. So I probably should have knit the fingering version or stuck to a shawlette, but I want a squishy worsted yarn garter stitch, so that's what I did. I think the biggest thing is I like, especially, okay, so it's a good shawl, but I like having it like right up against my neck. And if I do that, then it's really bulky under my hair and looks strange. But I also haven't quite figured out what to do with the ends because it is so bulky. So you can actually see the fold over back here, which you can't see on like fingering weight and lighter shawls. There. Wear it more like a cowl. I think this would work really well as a cowl. So Mina, if you're listening, I'd love to see a cowl design with this lace on the bottom with the like stripes up the neck. Because although I could design it, I'm not going to take patterns from other people because that is completely unfair. But yeah, I do really like it. I like how squishy it is. I just gotta figure out how to wear it better and to suit me. I am going to be taking this on the plane though because it's big and squishy and wool, and it'll be really good for like cold planes. So I read The Shadow Speaker. I finished reading The Shadow Speaker by Nnedi Okorafor. And then I read and finished The Goddess Chronicle by Natsuo Kirino. And that is a retelling of the Japanese myth of Izanagi and Izanami, who are the first female and male gods of the Japanese. Yeah, pantheon would be the closest, like a Greek pantheon, but anyway, mythological. And they spawned Japan, and eventually Izanagi would also spawn Amaterasu, who the emperor claims descent from. So that was interesting. It's obviously a translation, it's not an English book, but I found it really good, and it reminded me of some things that I actually like read when I was there for history and forgotten, so that was kind of funny too. For Japan, I'm taking 2 books because Dallas will be carrying Terry Pratchett as well, so if I need more to read, I'll just bum some books off of him. Then we don't have to carry as many. So I'm going to be taking The Parasol Protectorate, the first one, but called Soulless by Gail Carriger, not sure. And All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I actually picked that up the other day and started it and was really intrigued. But it was so good, I wanted to save it actually for the plane because it'll be like a distraction. I did actually go and get nice big noise cancelling headphones, so that should help a lot actually on the plane with sleeping and just with not consistently hearing the plane noise. Although, yeah, so. Speaking of Japan, I did actually cake up, literally right before the podcast, I caked up the yarn I'm taking. And, so, it's absolutely gorgeous. This one, I cannot believe how pretty it is. This is the Joma Yarns Princess. And it's an 86% merino, 84% merino, 16% stellina. It's gold stellina. And I love these little, like, arrows that these things make when the ball winder cooperates. But absolutely gorgeous, like, just, oh, the colors. It's prettier in the cake than it was in the skein, and that's saying something because it's magnificent in the skein too. Drop the other ball I was going to show with this. So I caked up I caked up the mandala from Madeline Tosh that I'm going to use. So the Joma yarns, this one I'm going to be using for the Antarctis by Janine Kalilo. It will be linked in the show notes. This will be for that, Antarctis. And then this is going to be the Waiting for Rain shawl by Sylvia Bilvia, also known as Soft Sweater on Instagram. And just look at how, like, the aqua, this aqua gets picked up by this. Fantastic. And this is also, it is really fantastic, like, gorgeous in the skein. Again, though, it's even more gorgeous caked up. So those are the two shawl projects that I'll take besides my socks. I did watch 3 new podcasts this week. I hadn't realized that I had actually done this. But I started watching Inside Number 23 with KT. So hi, another Katie. KT. I have to be very conscious of this as well because I know that people always pronounce my name Katie, but I'm actually KT, Katie. So I will try and enunciate a little bit better as well, Katie, because we should take pride in our T's. But she's really into Harry Potter, and she's got a super cute pug, and she's just really nice to listen to. She's out of England somewhere, I don't know where. So her accent's really interesting to listen to too, especially having listened to also Mina in Bahrain from London. Her accent is quite different from Katie on Inside Number 23, so it's really cool to hear the two different accents. Then I watched Hugh Loco with Nicole, and she is an indie dyer out of Colorado, I believe. And she's really cute. I loved seeing all of her colors, and it's something that I've been hearing about on other podcasts too. So all three of these I've been hearing about on other podcasts. Yes, except for the last one. Actually, the first two I have been. So I'm sure you've heard about them too, but they're worth mentioning anyway. And then the final podcast is actually a couple of Canadian ladies out of Toronto, and they're both also yarn dyers. And that is, the podcast is Dye Another Day, and their names are Amanda and Christina. So Amanda is Yarn Enabler on Instagram, and Christina is the Cozy Knitter, and they both dye. And they were super cute. One episode in, and yeah, I'm hooked. I'll definitely be watching your next episode, ladies. Really happy to see how enthusiastic you are. Yeah, and I'm excited to hear more of your adventures in knitting too in the next few weeks. Well, hopefully longer than a few weeks, but over time. I'm actually going to be letting my podcasts build up while I'm in Japan. I won't have time to watch them, so I'll have a lot of back episodes to watch when I come back, except for folks that post on iTunes. I have not been watching my podcasts on iTunes because iTunes took away the functionality of being able to watch them full screen without massive bars top and bottom. But for the uses of going abroad, I'm going to be watching them on iTunes, at least the ones I can. So it'll be a good plain knitting distraction, and yeah, I'll enjoy it. So the final thing is, and I'm sorry, I am getting super tired. I thought that I was over my jet lag, but I don't think I am quite yet. But the last thing is that I still do have a coupon code in the shop, Nekozuki Knits on Etsy, and it is Nihon Fund. I'll put that down here so that you can actually see it, but it's NIHONFUND, and that will get you 10% off in the shop until 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on March 10th. Now 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time is 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern, and I believe that makes it 6:30 Atlantic Standard Time. Yes. Anyway, so yeah, and thank you for your support. I'm really appreciative of it, and I'm super excited to show you guys all what I bring back from Japan. This is the last time that I'll officially podcast before I go, but I will be podcasting again. I guess I probably could let you know. So the shop's going to be closed March 10th to April 10th. Sorry, I'm bringing up my calendar because I am unprofessional and did not think this through before I started. So the shop will open on the 10th, and I'll probably podcast on either April 12th or 13th of that week. Because we have a wedding and everything 2 days after we get home. So that's going to take up the weekend, and then the shop I can just reopen from my phone. That's not a big deal. And then I'll podcast, on the 12th or 13th. So be prepared that you'll probably see a lot of knitting. Because as I mentioned last podcast, I have a lot of transit time. So even if I don't get the shawls done, I'll get lots and lots and lots of sock knitting done. And there'll be... How I'm going to do it while I'm in Japan is I will actually post small snippet videos from Japan that I'm just going to take on my phone because I won't have any editing software while I'm there. So definitely look for a few things as I'm traveling. Just nothing like what I'm doing right now, sitting down and kind of formally talking to you. Not like it's formally talking to you all, but like a podcast as you know it. It'll be more of a vlog. Yeah, and then once I get back, I'm going to actually pull everything off these shelves and push everything out of my room and clean it up because it desperately needs it. It needs a vacuum, but I can't bring the vacuum in because there's so much stuff on the floor. So, and there's going to be a very big influx of fabric, probably, most likely. I was looking at costs of fabric and compared to what I would spend on them normally. It's half the cost to purchase them there. For some of them, not all of them obviously, but it's about half the cost and I don't have to pay shipping. Granted, I've done like my flights and my hotels and all of that, so I should technically factor that in, but I'm buying this on vacation, so I'm not going to. Top hint, if I continue to get good support, hopefully I can continue to go to Japan a little bit more often, not every 6 years. I have a feeling we probably will be back sooner now because we won't have to plan for Dallas to have 2 weeks off work and for us to go for over 3 weeks. It's quite an expense, but I think from now on it'll be a smaller trip, like 10 days or something like that. But that's in the future. We haven't even got there for our first trip together, but I'm super excited, and I do thank you for all your support of my shop so that I can bring stuff back to show you guys because it's going to be really cool. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the Ravelry group and I will chat with you guys all in April. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you in a month. Bye!